So we have made a few changes to the snowfall forecast. We'll show you that in just a second, but things are really starting to come into focus and into picture with what we're expecting with this storm. Live look right now towards downtown. High temperature in the books today, remarkably colder than yesterday. You certainly felt it if you were outside, especially for the marathon. 46 the high temperature. Woke up to temperatures near freezing this morning. Right now we are at 41. It feels like 34 though. The wind still making things feel even colder, and that wind from the north will continue to pull in more cold air for tonight and into tomorrow, and that will set the stage for this storm as we get into Tuesday. So here's what to expect. Bottom line, there is no sugarcoating this. This will be a crippling winter storm, not just for southeast Texas, but for a large swath of area from Texas going all the way through the deep south, through Louisiana, through Mississippi, Alabama, even parts of Florida and Georgia. Travel to be completely halted. Both airports close at midnight tomorrow, getting into Tuesday. So midnight Tuesday, Monday night into midnight Tuesday, airports close, travel will be halted. And then once the storm is over Tuesday afternoon, we're not done with the threat because extreme cold will set in then for Tuesday night, getting into Wednesday morning before we can finally start to really thaw things out and get improvements going. So weather impact alert in effect as we get towards Tuesday and then Wednesday as well. Winter storm warnings now in effect. This is an upgrade from yesterday. Yesterday it was winter storm watch. Now that we are closer to the actual storm, they upgraded this to a warning. But again, it's not just us. Look at this map. From the U.S. and Mexico border all the way through Louisiana, we've got winter storm warnings, and then beyond that, winter storm watches getting into the Florida Panhandle. We're talking about the Gulf Coast beaches included in this winter storm, and that also goes all the way up towards places like Savannah and Charleston. So here's the bottom line. We're expecting heavy snow and sleet as we get into Monday night and Tuesday. The timing on this from 6 p.m. Monday to 6 p.m. Tuesday. So the timing has not changed at all from yesterday. There's really high confidence in that. The biggest impact will be impossible or at least exceptionally dangerous travel across all of southeast Texas. So for the overnight, we're clear, we're cold, and still breezy. Temperatures drop to the upper 20s and low 30s. Tomorrow, our storm system begins to develop here across the lower Texas coast. Clouds begin to fill in ahead of it, but we don't see anything until the overnight. That's when snow finally starts to fill in. As quick as it's in, it's out by Tuesday afternoon. We actually may get some sunshine, but the morning hours Tuesday will be filled with heavy periods of snow. So here's the latest future track. We will stop the clock 10 p.m. Monday. Steady snow already breaking out for areas north of town. I-10 to the south, it's snow showers, it's maybe some sleet showers with ice pellets and mixed precipitation, but it's on the lighter side until probably after midnight. That's when things really start to fill in from the city and point south. Wherever you see the blue, that indicates snow. Wherever you see that pink, that indicates mixed precipitation. So snow, sleet, some ice, maybe some freezing rain, although I really think this is primarily a snowstorm for us. There's 2 a.m. We take you all the way through sunrise Tuesday, 6 to 7 a.m. Snow is still thumping here across I-10, coming down heavy at times, maybe 1.5 to 2 inches per hour. We've got mixing down at the coast. As we get you through the morning hours, snow continues, finally starting to shut off for areas to the west by 10 and 11 a.m. Still coming down now for the coast out towards Chambers County, Port Arthur and Beaumont, and then eventually it all begins to exit by the time we get to Tuesday afternoon, and then sunshine starts to come out across the area. Ice accumulations look very, very light, if anything at all. This is really good news because this would be the biggest issue in terms of power disruptions across the area. You need this ice to weigh down tree branches, to weigh down power lines, to disrupt power, and we don't really see that being a huge concern. With ice totals like this in the few hundredths to maybe a tenth of an inch, you will get a glaze on roadway surfaces, making travel even more difficult, but you really have to get to the quarter to half an inch accumulation range for this to weigh down these power lines and tree branches. So this is our high-resolution in-house computer model. That's what this is spitting out for snowfall totals. The general idea is I-45 into the east, heavier amounts, lighter amounts the farther west you go. On the American GFS model, more of a bullseye here, extending south and west, including the city of Houston, all the way down towards the coast with lesser amounts farther north. The European model, a little more widespread here, including our northern areas, with everyone seeing a pretty large swath of snow. This is the brand new official forecast from us here at KHOU. Notice the numbers have changed quite a bit from yesterday, and they've gone up across the entire area, and this does include the coastal spots. So for coastal Matagorda and Brazoria counties, talking about 1 to 3 inches of snow. This is from Monday night into Tuesday. Once you get farther north, Fort Bend County, Austin, Colorado County, all of Harris County. Now this is the entire city of Houston. Getting into Liberty County, up the East Tex Freeway, all of Montgomery County, 3 to 5 inches of snow. And notice that darker blue does extend south towards Galveston. I think we could end up with 3 to 4 inches of snow out towards Galveston, which would be just a remarkable feat. And then notice this, as you go far east along I-10 towards Beaumont, in Louisiana, we could be talking about over a half a foot of snow near the Texas and Louisiana border. So a historic storm on the way for us here in southeast Texas. But it doesn't end there. As we get done with this storm and we get into the overnight Tuesday and Wednesday, we could see air temperatures dropping well into the teens for a few areas, low 20s and teens. And when you factor in the wind, we're talking about dangerous wind chill values here in the single digits and teens. So some dangerous, brutal cold on the way once we get the storm out of here, meaning anything that melts after the storm exits Tuesday afternoon will refreeze into a sheet of ice as we get to Wednesday morning. So for the overnight tonight, cold, still blustery, 28 for Acres Homes, 30 in the Heights and Montrose, 29 for Copperfield, 30 in West Chase. Same out towards Allendale. We'll do 26 in Atascocita and Cypress, 27 for Tomball, 30 in LaPorte, 36 Galveston, mid-20s for a good part of the area, though, once you get out of Harris County. Tomorrow, temperatures will actually be above freezing for a period of time. Mid to upper 30s within the Beltway, 39 for Tomball, same for LaPorte and Olcott. But the clouds will increase. I think we'll flirt around 38 degrees in the city. Could see some lower 40s at the coast. But cold air will rush in quickly. And as we get to tomorrow night, that's when snow begins to fall. So much of tomorrow, again, is dry. It's just cloudy. We work in that snow and sleet chance around sunset and after dark. Weather impact alert then in effect for Tuesday. It is heavy snow for the first half of the day. Second half of the day, the snow's out of here. We'll actually see sunshine. Any bit of melting that occurs with that sunshine will refreeze as temperatures drop to 14 degrees Wednesday morning. So that weather impact alert in effect for Wednesday is for that hard freeze. Upper 30s and for your high temperature Wednesday, which means more melting. But then again, 23 degrees Thursday morning. So more refreezing, more ice. It won't be until the weekend that we finally see overnight temperatures back above freezing. And look at that, maybe even a rain chance with high temperatures back to the upper 60s. So getting 2 seasons in 1 week here, but all of our attention, of course, on that time frame from Monday night all the way through Tuesday, but maybe even getting into Wednesday as well.
So what you're telling people is to stay home.
I think the advice that the officials are giving that you should be prepared to stay home from Monday afternoon to Monday evening all the way through Wednesday is prudent advice. And obviously not everyone will have that option with emergency first responders, journalists, and there are other essential jobs out there that you just have to go to work for. The key will really be to drive slow. The good news, it doesn't look like it's an ice storm. So snow is slick to drive on, but it's not impossible to drive on as long as you drive extremely slow.
Rough few days, we'll get through it. Thanks, Pat. Now is the time to take action, though, to keep you, your family, and your home safe. Just text the word FREEZE to 713-526-1111, and we'll send a link straight to your phone with important winter weather resources that include safety tips, a list of school closures that continues to grow, and warming centers, and the latest updates on that power grid. And be sure to join us on KHU 11 Plus and on air for continuing coverage of the Arctic Blast starting Tuesday morning at 4. We'll have updates all day long, both on our streaming platform and on TV.